I'm dying. I need to find Suffer. After he left, I began to age. I'm getting sick. I need to find him fast. Hello. My name is David, and I'm the original ringmaster of the Edge Play Circus. Some of you may know my name already, and some of you may not. Some of you have heard my name because of Suffer the Clown, crying about seeing me off in the distance anytime he's performing one of his new circus acts. And it's true, I've been hunting him. Many of you have heard stories of immortals, but not like this one. This story goes back to 1890. I started the Edge Play Circus because I was a traveler, and I found any traveling show to be amusing and entertaining. I was fascinated by the concept of it. Any show that I attended, I just got inspired to create my own. And I did. I created a perfect show. I commissioned several people that I met along the way in my travels, people I would call close friends, good acquaintances, people who had the same vision as me. I drafted several people who weren't afraid to travel back in those times. I had a architect. His name was Sheldon, and he created our first railroad train that we traveled across the United States and many other areas of North America. He created this train car that I'm sitting in at the moment. He also created the train car that you see Suffer in on a consistent basis. I know many of you have seen Suffer, and I want you to comment and let me know where he is. I need to find him, because the story of these immortals and this immortality it can't continue unless I find him. I started this circus not knowing that I would become immortal and live for as long as I have. It's the year 2026. I've been doing this circus business for over 130 years. Suffer stole the circus from me in 2010. He walks around filming videos, complaining about the originals, complaining about me, complaining about how cheap we were, blah, blah, blah. But what he doesn't tell you is that we visited France in 1905. It was the first time we ever left the United States. to visit another country, and we did so under a special invitation from the French president at that time. There was a traveling show that was set up in France, in an area called Brittany, France, in a forest called Morbihan. The traveling show that was supposed to perform there was the Chinese circus, but they vanished overnight. And when they vanished, all of their materials, their tents, everything was left behind. And the French government waited for nearly 30 days and decided these people weren't coming back. They had heard about our traveling show and the success that we had had in the United States and wondered if we would visit France. So they extended an invitation, and I accepted. I had arranged for a ship to meet us in port in Norfolk, Virginia, and carried us away from the United States to France. And as we were invited to set up there, we were invited to already use everything that was set up, left behind by that Chinese circus. Anything that was left behind we got to keep, and we got to use the tents that were already there. But what Suffer hasn't told you is that he's an original. He's one of us. He was with us in France. And while we were there, I believe one of the reasons why the Chinese circus disappeared visited us while we were staying in the area. There was a horse, a black horse, that appeared to us out of nowhere. And there was something wrong with the horse. He just walked up to the camp, pulling an abandoned Chinese carriage. And this carriage was older than our circus by at least 100 years. It was so old, it didn't look like it should still exist. There was no other kind of carriage that I know of like it. I've never seen anything like it. Not even another piece of Chinese artifact looked like this. This horse walked up into our camp with this carriage, and it made everybody sick. It made me sick. I tried to go up to it, holster the horse, and stop it from entering until we could investigate to see what was inside of the carriage. And as I approached the horse, it did something to me. It made me sick. It dropped me to my knees, and I felt like my head was being microwaved. And as did anyone else that approached the horse. Several of my staff members tried to help, and as they helped, they also got sick. But when Suffer came out to investigate what was going on, he walked up to the horse, and the horse bowed to him. And it stopped making us all sick when Suffer approached. All I know is that there was some kind of communication going on between Suffer and the horse. Suffer got in the carriage, and he left. He didn't return for, and it seemed like a few days. And when he did return, he came back changed. He had black clown face paint. Originally, he was white. He looked deranged. He looked changed to the point that he looked evil. And when he returned, the horse, it was like it was worn with him. He had a black staff when he exited the carriage, and he rode the horse in the camp. He claims that while he was in the carriage on his way out of the circus that day, the horse pulled him back in the carriage so hard that there was things inside of the carriage that fell and hit him in the head and landed next to him, and one of the items was that staff. That staff has a red 8-ball on the end of it, something the likes of which I have never seen before. I've never seen another red 8-ball, and there is something about it. Some kind of power comes out of it. When he came back into the camp, you could feel this power radiating off of him, and it touched all of us. We didn't know what came over us at the time. But years and years and years passed, and all of us stayed the same. None of us changed. As long as we were around Suffer, we were not aging, and we felt powerful. We had abilities that we didn't have before, and we discovered these as we progressed years in. We would be performing acts, and all of a sudden we would do something that would amaze people, and they thought it was part of the act, but the reality was all we did was we actually ran at a superhuman speed. To them, it didn't look like human speed. To us, it did. And we didn't realize we were doing it until modern times caught up with us and people developed video cameras. The first time we ever saw ourselves on video, we were baffled to see that we were moving so fast. I mean, it was almost like we were demons or the Flash, if you will. I mean, there's so much going on in the camera at once, and people, I could see why they were fascinated by it. It didn't really dawn on us that the reason for the immortality was Suffer until he stole the circus from us. You see, in 2010, Suffer had performed with us for over 100 years, and he claims that he got fed up with us because I guess I could say that some of it was my fault. I toyed with him and told him that one day he would be the ringmaster. I told him that because I expected that I would age, and I would have retired. I would have passed on the torch when the time was right. But when I decided that I didn't need to pass it on anymore because I wasn't aging, and Suffer was deranged, I didn't want to pass the circus off to him anymore. And he took that very personally, to the point it made a villain out of him. I am having to hunt him down because of his anger. He stole the circus from me, and you might ask, how did he steal an entire circus? Well, I'll tell you. There's something about that staff. He was able to cast some kind of a spell, and the spell made sure that one night we were set up at a camp. We all stayed asleep while him and some of his loyal clown followers were able It was almost like they were able to pause time because they were able to pack up the entire circus, the circus tent, every piece of equipment that you could think of, and just load it up onto the train, somehow leaving without us hearing a single noise. All I know is that we all woke up. Me, my closest two friends, Sheldon and Ricardo, and Ricardo's wife Patrice, we all wake up, we look around, and everybody's gone. You know, there's the only tents left is ours. It's falling to me to hunt Suffer down, because you have to realize Ricardo and Patrice, when they started the circus with me, they were already retired from another well-esteemed circus. I convinced them to join the circus with me, and back in 1890, when they joined the circus, they were 60 years old. When Suffer left, 15 years have passed since we haven't been immortal anymore. And it seems that Patrice and Ricardo had aged very quickly. It's like it's caught up with them. And for myself, the absence of the power has caused me to be sick. I can feel it in my lungs. I feel slower. I feel lethargic quite often. But there are times when I get a surge of power. And that's what gives me that oomph to hunt Suffer down. So I will find Suffer. I need your help to do it.